Buttercup Dragon Mac and Cheese.
What up, Buttercup? I'm recording this way too late, like late in the evening, so I'm kind of tired. We're gonna talk about butt stuff. Yeah, this is an ostomy video. Buckle up. Ostomy sounds. What are they? I'm not sure. Is it the crinkle of the bag or is it the toot of the stoma? Either way, it makes sounds, doesn't it? You guys keep asking me to make a video on like how to muffle the sound on these things, and I'm not sure what anybody's talking about. Hey, how do you muffle the sound of my ostomy? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean the sound? What are you trying to muffle? We're gonna talk about the sounds. Before we get into that, I want to let you guys know, if you have an ostomy, there are muffling devices that you can get for your stealth belt. If you guys don't have a stealth belt, this is a stealth belt, this bad boy, whatever. So there's muffling devices you can get for all of that stuff. I'm not gonna get into any of that because we're gonna talk about the sounds themselves. So what sound are we talking about here? Are we talking about the crinkle of the bag? This is your ostomy bag. This is what it sounds like. That's really about it. I would say at the max, that will be the most I'll ever hear it. And that's rare that it'll even do that. Usually you hear the bag if it's touched or if it's moved around. So like that, if you're touching it. So if I'm sitting there and I'm touching my bag, it's going to sound like I'm touching something. So if you're concerned about that sound, maybe don't touch it so much or wiggle it around. I don't know. But the bags themselves can indeed cause a little bit of a crinkling sound. I guess personally, I don't think that people notice it as much as you do. Maybe I'm super wrong about that, but I mean, I've asked my friends, I'm like, hey, I need you to be really real with me because I'm gonna make a video about this and you're helping the ostomy community, so can you please answer this as honest as possible? Do you ever hear my bag? And they're always like, maybe that one time, but they're just like, no, not really. So the answer is like, no, not really. And if somebody doesn't know you have it and they can hear it, they aren't thinking that it's an ostomy, I guess. So I don't know. As far as the crinkle in the bag, I think it's very minimal. I don't think it's as bad as people are saying that it is. I hate to just say that it's not terrible for people. I meant it's just probably not as loud as you think that it is. Like if you're doing this to it, it's kind of loud, but I mean, why would you be doing that? The other thing that is contributing to this sound are farts. So let's talk about farts. You're not above the law. Your farts sometimes are gonna make a noise, just like everybody else. Yeah, I mean, now that you have an ostomy, you're still going to fart. Usually, the ostomy toots are silent because it's just pushing out of your stoma. I don't generally hear a fart that comes out of it. Let's just call it passing gas from now on, okay? Sorry, I was scratching my tummy. Sometimes they make a little bit of a noise. It's usually if my output is also very runny as well as me being gassy, then in that instance it'll make noise, like the gas will make noise. It's just not very common that I hear it make those noises. And so far, people find it kind of funny when they ever do hear it and they're like, what was that? And I'm like, oh, it was my stoma. Either they have no idea what I was talking about and they don't care anymore at that point, or they're like, oh, okay, because they know what an ostomy is and they're like, whatever. The combination of fart and bag crinkle is a definite thing as well. So addressing the farting, I would recommend just trying not to eat things that make you very gassy. You can also take, if you don't have gluten sensitivity, you can take something like Beano to help relieve gas. I think there's other things to help relieve gas as well. Like, mostly though, it's your diet. So just, you know, like, don't eat the whole bulb of garlic, which I'm about to go do. Just try not to eat foods that make you gassy, and if you do eat foods that make you gassy, try to take into consideration that maybe you can do something to counteract that gassiness. So just think about it, I guess. It's gassy. People fart. Everybody farts. So the fart and crinkle combination is like a real thing. When this bag gets air in it, let's just say it's all like closed up like this, and then it's adhered to your skin like this, and there's no air in it at all, you can't hear it. I mean, even like this, but listen. What you hear is air in the bag. So if you ever watch some YouTube videos on like how to burp your ostomy bag, I recommend that if it's making kind of a good deal of noise, I'm suggesting that there might be a good deal of air or farts and gas in your pouch, and it might be a good idea to go burp your pouch. So that's a real thing. I think that's probably the biggest like noise complaint I would say. You know, if I kind of like sit down on the ground or something and my knee comes up and I can hear my ostomy, if that is the case, I know for sure that there's gas in my pouch. So usually if I can hear my pouch moving around, I know there's gas in it, and that's pretty much what's causing the sound, to be quite frank. Because if there's no gas in it and if I burped it really well, I don't hear it at all. So maybe just kind of take that into consideration. I'm sorry I don't have like a definitive answer, but nobody would tell me what they meant specifically by how do I deal with the sound? And I'm like, what sound are you talking about? Your fart? The crinkle? Anyway, happy farting.